Hello, I'm Brenda Power, Medicine Woman. I am your soul coach, your life coach, a psychic reader, and a medium. What does all that mean? Is that I listen to spirit, I tap into the high vibrations, and I can hear your loved ones from the other sides, whether they're humans, they were animals, even your spirit guides. Everybody's always so curious about it. And one of the things that I want to address is how people believe differently. Nothing wrong with the way we believe. So recently, Spirit says, notice how this one belief is that you can't heal yourself. So that's a journey I've been on for a while that says, that's not true. I believed it until I didn't. That means like, oh, you can't run a mile under 4 minutes. And people believed it for years. And then all of a sudden, one day, someone did it. Someone did it. And so then many people could do it. I'm here to tell you this. I asked Spirit, I said, so is it true? Is it true? And do I have to believe that I can't heal myself? Spirit says, no, you just have to learn more information and apply it and practice and just do it. Got ya. So that's what I've been doing. Now, there's sometimes you need extra help. Granted, we all do. But this is one of the many tools in your toolbox. People think you get one tool and that's it. And then if you can't figure it out, you're done. Many, many tools, many, many things that you can do. And this is why I'm here to talk to you today. For instance, I'm going to set up classes to help you understand how to read yourself, how to heal yourself, how to address your life issues. You don't have to per se talk to your loved ones. You are connecting to spirit guides. You have automatically everything you need right here. You don't have to go up and they don't have to come down. You just turn the darn thing on and tune in and tap in and be done. And you learn to practice that muscle. So for instance, I have become spiritually aware. That means I chose to intentionally become aware of what is going in my life through the ego, which is just a lens, by stopping to over-identify, say, nope, 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 don't need to do that. Don't need to have those programs all kicking and run and tell me what the outcome is. But I'm standing in my true authenticity, and that's after many times of healing out all of those emotions that create these programs that trap me into a certain thinking system and a certain way of believing. And so then it creates self-limitations and conditions. I began to heal those. So what Spirit has done is, like, for instance, I can tell that I have pain in my left shoulder and in my right knee on the inside. And I'm like, okay, so that's physical. And I said, all right, what does this have to do with for me? Now, you don't have to worry that you don't have it perfect because you'll never begin. And you have to understand everything's done in layers. And if you think that you're just going to go straight to the root cause and heal everything, then you have another thing to look forward to that you can discover and achieve that other people haven't. What I'm telling you is that as you begin, there are many, 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 many layers to us, because in the quantum field of potential, all things are possible, and it's endless. We have a tendency to just pick one and make it a particle and say, this is it. I'm telling you to let's heal this so that you let go of it, surrender and release it, let it go, reach in and grab something better for you. Become more aligned to your higher self. Okay? Which means that I'm trying to figure this out. I know that there are different stages that you go throughout your whole life. One of them is that I've had this particular thing that goes on inside my body. I didn't know what it was for years. I finally was able to find proof because one day I says, I can't sit more than 5 minutes in a row. I am not able to sit. I have too much pain. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. No matter what position I'm in, laying in or anything, I have pain. So my body is talking to me. My body's consciousness knows me better than I know myself. So what is it really saying? So instead of using the same mind that created the body's consciousness to hold that pattern, I learned to change my brain waves and tune in and turn on and allow the frequency to be high enough into the bandwidth so that the information can come back and forth, and that my body nervous system can handle the love information that comes through, because what comes through is pure love. It isn't tainted. So when you are tuning in to the many planes of existence or the many layers, depending on where you're going, love is the information that comes through. How you read that with the voice you choose to listen to, which is your voice, whether it's your personality of being a bitch or sarcastic or really high praise, you have to understand you have this voice inside with many personalities. It's you, but it's a personality. When you begin to understand how to do charades, then when you start to tap into that high frequency of love, and depending on where you are, whether you're a kindergartner or a graduate student, and I'm not talking education, I'm talking about within yourself about how you learn, okay? So here you are, you're like, okay, I can't handle too much frequency or I get drained, or that means you haven't learned how to connect with the energy. You have to learn how to work with the energy. You have to build that muscle up. You have to heal some limitations. A lot of things that you can do to get to the stage where you become more masterful. So I'm telling you that when I'm tuned in, tapped in, and turned on, that sounds like Abraham Hicks, but it's true because all my chakras align. I had a machine that I put my hand on, and you can see the chakra energies and all this. And when spirit began to really tune in and tap in and turn on, which means the tube lit up, and I could handle that amount of frequency. My nervous system could handle more and more of the frequency. What happened was that my chakras would boom, 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 be in perfect alignment. And I could feel it. I could feel my 7th chakra, my 6th. I could feel them all balanced, not over or under, but balanced. Okay. And so then when body pains and aches come in, they weren't mine. I could tell the difference between me and the information that's coming in, because certain things would light up. Same for thoughts, same for emotions, and things are done in charades. What I'm trying to tell you is that my left shoulder, if you begin to have more knowledge and you learn about the body, you learn about meridians and acupuncture points, and you learn about energy medicine, what the body's talking, the way that we are sensory beings and communicate. So my left shoulder is about the small intestine energy. My right leg is about my liver meridian. Now, first of all, I can hear some people's voices going, what do you mean your small intestine? It's not in your shoulder. Your small intestine's in your gut area. I'm talking about meridians. These are energy pathways. Okay. And they have designated points and designated lines. And it's all one meridian, but it's broken up and communicated in a certain way. So your body has a way of communicating, but I look at it as through meridians. So like what is the unit, the story? So there's a particular point that it happened. So at age 4, I created an experience, and then a unit appeared, which means then it becomes a permanent thing that follows me through until I heal it and stops being permanent. And it can be connected to the mothership, which is something that takes so long to heal. But it means you keep revisiting the same subject, but on many different perspectives. That's on the kaleidoscope of life. Okay, you do that. For me, I'm looking back at 4 years old, and I'm asking, is this the time that I had gotten to that car accident? I fell out of the car, and so does my body have physical trauma? My physical body took the trauma, and it's stuck in the etheric, but it's also in the spiritual body. Okay, so now you're talking deeper language. So as I'm looking at my spirit body, so what's really going on? And they said, it's part of your habit field. Okay, so what habit am I doing? and they said left brain living. And left brain living is more, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Whereas right brain is, oh, everything's okay. And I said, okay. So how many meridians are involved in this unit? 2. And small intestine and liver meridian. Gotcha. See, so I'm learning to read myself. And I'm like, okay, so is there a story behind those 2? And Spirit says, well, yes, because it's the exertion of pouting. See, my epiphany. So a 4-year-old pouts? Wow. And so then I have to define what pouting is. And so I will do that. And then I can get more epiphanies, more information. So pouting, how interesting is that? So I looked that up, and the definition is outwardly expressed disapproval by sulking. It's the expression of annoyance, being irritated. Sulking is being silent, morose, ill-tempered, bad-tempered, out of annoyance or disappointment. How interesting is that? Because the reason that you define things is so that you can feel and experience it deeper. How does you connect with those words and what is familiar to you? So as I'm looking, I'm like, oh boy. Later down the road, that's going to connect to my stomach meridian and worry. So that's fine. I'll work on that later. But at that age, I could see why the liver, because it's about exertion of being what I just read. So the small intestine is about pout. So you have this combination that's happening inside of you that makes this program and this personality, and then you collect things over time as you age. At that time, how it's familiar to me is my sister said I was ill-tempered. I was mad all the time. But I also remember that I learned to become self-sufficient to some degree because my mother worked. And my siblings were the ones taking care of me. So kids taking care of kids. You can't expect anything more out of a kid. But the 4-year-old didn't know this. The 4-year-old goes, my needs are not met. I'm hungry. Where's the food? And they're annoyed with me, which makes me annoyed with them. And this vicious cycle happens. And so I'd always have a block up. I don't want to talk to you or anything. But at the same time, I'm hungry or I got to go to the bathroom. But I learned how to get around. So at 4 years old, I had a car accident. So we had a racetrack out back. And in those days, did things. So I was in the front seat belt on. But as we're going around the circle, the door opened up and I slid right through. We still don't know how that happened. It could be just because it's an old car. But the door came back, slit my leg, didn't know it until everybody was like tossing me around. They picked me up the ground, come on, get up, and all this other stuff. And then they put me on a hot car. And I just remember how hard it was. And they're like, oh gosh, take her in the house. I don't remember any love. And I'm sure there was love, but that's not what I remember. Okay. And I remember my sister no bigger than I am, so she's 9, I'm 4. And she's carrying me to the house. And I remember feeling something really weird on my leg. And I'm like, must be a bug. So I pulled it up and I'm looking at it. But then my sister saw what I was looking at and screamed about dropped me. Her scream, I remember it shrilling right through my body. And now that I say that, where is that shrill hit? Into my stomach. That's where the worry comes in. See how everything kind of starts to get connected? So I'll have to remove that shrill. But, I had to go into the doctors and get it fixed. But at the same time, I didn't know how to get around the house until one day I learned how to be self-sufficient. I propped my other leg up and I scooted on my butt everywhere. I found boxes of cereal I can put down where I can eat, go to the bathroom so I didn't have to suffer. But how I looked at it as a kid and then as an adult, it's like when I got sick, my ex-husband wasn't there for me. He'll say he was, but I needed my medicine. I still had to get up and get it myself. I had to get my own food. So I there's a difference in defining what is love and help. And um, so, and I didn't see my kids help me. I just felt like all I could feel and see was the gestures on their face and the annoyance of their voice. And, oh, God, I gotta help mom. I gotta help my way. And that would always cause me to I don't want your help. So I had to learn how to undo these personalities, how to protect myself from people's energies and not take offense to when they had these type of thoughts. So I'm still on the learning track. Stay with me on the journey of everything so that you don't have to be a victim of your world. Your soul, you'll learn how to communicate with your soul. You'll learn how to, question it with your higher self and with your heart and with your gut instead of with your ego. Instead of becoming very anal, you can just become more spiritually enlightened. So stay with me, okay? Stay blessed.